Okay, looks like I think I am in. Hi, how are you guys? Let me know once you are in and if you can hear and see me clearly. That will be very, very important because we don't really know if it's connected yet or it is not. Okay, I can see some people joining, so that is really helpful. Okay, I think we are doing great. That is perfect. Perfect. I can see you guys. Hi, how are you? I'm here in my studio. This is a little bit different setting because I wanted to have the chat visible just in case if it's not really possible to see on my screen. So if you would like to let your friends know that we are starting, that would be perfect moment. If you can share that live show with everybody, that would be so, so great. I just have to. Oh, yeah. No, the light is really very sharp. Maybe if I go here, it will be better. Oh, that should be a little bit nicer. Hi, guys. I'm very happy to have you here. And it's my first live stream on YouTube, and it is really exciting. And let's hope I will figure out how to uh, record it properly. So I can see a lot of friends joining. We have 35 people already. If you can let your friends know on Instagram and on Facebook that we are starting, that is going to bring more people in. So it's going to be, the more the merrier. Hi, I'm very happy to see you all. I can see we have people from all over, and it's really great pleasure. Look, I put new earrings especially for you today. I have new earrings. I usually not wear them too much because they're quite heavy. New Zealand, no way. What time is in New Zealand now? Oh, yay, good to catch you live. Yes, thank you. I'm trying to be here. And this is my first time, so if something goes wrong, please forgive me, but I hope we are going to be fine. Yeah, earrings. Yeah, I know. They just make me happy. It's one of the things that I really love to have. 9 a.m. on Saturday. So I figured that quite well when it comes to timing. So 9 a.m. it's not bad. And I think the 9 a.m. then for Australia it's going to be doable as well. I'm only a little bit sorry about all the people who are in the wrong time zone. It's more like in the middle of Asia and so on. But yes, they do look heavy. I know. Oh, Texas, that's great. And we have some of 12 hours ahead for Malta. Oof, that's a long time. Yeah. So, guys, I have some of your questions printed here, right? So I have some of them printed, but I'm thinking maybe in 1 or 2 minutes, I will try to also answer the questions you may have. So please don't forget if you would like to ask a question, you can put it here in the live chat and what time is there where you are? For me, it is 8 p.m. and I'm in Ireland, so that is British time, probably. So this is going to be like 9 p.m. in Spain, 9 p.m. in Germany, and Poland, I think, as well, probably 10 or 11 p.m. in Moscow, so quite late. Yeah, greetings from France. Thank you very much. We've got 40 people already, so that's great. And if you want to make it more visible, you can share it on Facebook, you can share it on Instagram, and you can give me some thumbs up as well here, because that is going to make this video more visible for others, as I learned from other YouTubers. This is what they told me I have to ask you. Please remember to hit the button with the thumb up, and then remember to subscribe. These are two important things I should be repeating. Okay, so as you know, I'm not very... Oh, thank you, I got another thumb up. Thank you so much. Oh my God, 7! Guys, you are awesome. Oh my God, it's 8. Yeah, this is how it works apparently. By clicking thumbs up and sharing, we are making the better coverage. So more of the people who are subscribed to the channel, they can see something is going on. So we are helping our friends in a way. So this is not just me, this is helping the others. So that is quite fine for me. Oh, 9 p.m. in Slovenia. So I think this is not too late yet. It's like the time when we can cover the most, because we can get some people from United States and Canada and South America. Then we are going to have evening in Europe, and then apparently we are okay to cover morning in Australia and New Zealand. For those of you who can't watch and you would like to see the answers to the questions, remember we are trying to record it as well, so you can, 11 p.m. in Belarus. I was expecting it's going to be late. So, guys, I will try to record it as well, but I can't promise it will be successful, okay? This is the first time ever. Oh my God, I have 14 thumbs up so far. I think we are ready to start. We have 53 people joining. This is really exciting for my first Q&A and live. So, for those of you who are wondering what we are doing, this is something which is called question and answer session. So Q&A. One of my friends said, oh, it's going to be, she heard like I'm saying karaoke. No, I'm not going to sing. You would not like that, I'm sure. And hi guys, me singing would be a bit traumatizing, so I probably would prefer somebody else to do it for you. So in case if you are wondering, this is going to be the moment when you can ask me the question and I will try to answer. I printed some of them already. These are the questions you left under my Instagram post. Oh, you are my student. Oh, in Bavaria. That was my first international class ever. First one. Can you believe it? It was 2011, I think. That could be 2011 in Bavaria. It was my first class. That was that one, I think. It's almost 10 years of my classes already. So I have my tea here. This is also, you probably have seen this mug before. This is mug, which is my favorite mug. And this is also a very special one. It's got flowers, stars, and there are also chickens. There's a chicken. I got it when I was teaching in France, and it was a beautiful event when there were other teachers invited as well. And because I'm a terrible tea drinker and I needed a lot of tea during the day, people who were organizing, they decided to give me one of the mugs they had at home. This was that one, and it's my big treasure because it's perfect size for my tea. So this is my favorite one. 11 p.m. in Jordan. Oh, Jordan is very, very far. Yeah, it's very late, but thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the thumbs up and thank you for all the love. I think we can start. So I'm going to answer first question. Oh, what tea do I like? In Ireland, we've got 2 basic blends of tea, and I just drink black tea without any sugar and without milk. And this is like a very popular blend, the most similar to English breakfast. But here there are 2 brands which are very popular. One is Barry's, and I think this is like the national's choice. And the second one is Lloyd's, which is maybe a little bit better. Well, maybe a little bit different, I would say. It's not better, it's maybe worse, depending on the person. So black tea without any sugar, any honey. Sometimes I put slice of lemon inside. Uh, I would love that, but means I have to catch a flight. Okay. So I found the Polish tea. I love black Ceylon, and I think it's orange. That is nice combination. If you put orange, especially like a slice of orange, fresh into the tea, that is amazing. But I prefer lemon. Lemon gives me more sour flavor. And remember, if you want me to answer the questions, I will try to read them and I will try to remember, okay? Because they're disappearing apparently. And I will just see if I can maybe switch on my computer and then I will see them a little bit longer. This is a plan, okay? Hi everyone, it's great to see you all. I think I'm connecting. So guys, first of all, why I have my computer is off? Because we have mobile internet only in my village. So it's not the greatest connection. Sometimes I just have to make choices. Hi guys. And let's see if I can read your comments a little bit better when I have my screen on, because that would help a lot. So the first question I found, it was, did you ever try out other crafting techniques? That was one of the questions I got. Okay, here's how do you get your inspiration for focal points in your compositions? Okay, that would be the next one, the focal points in the compositions. So, guys, first of all, have I tried other crafting techniques? Okay, I can see, yeah, here I can see more of the questions. Perfect, that is better solution. So, well, I don't really do that much crafting that would be not connected to gluing, painting, or putting piece of paper together. But in the past, I've tried some knitting. I wanted to make a scarf, and some of you know the story. That is the most disappointing story of my life, because when I was trying to do the knitting of the scarf, I had this huge knitting sticks, needles, I'm not sure how you call them in English, and I had this big yarn to make this lovely fluffy scarf. I discovered I'm the worst person ever to do any kind of precise and repetitive work, because it took me 3 years to finish one scarf, because I was making one row and I had to go back 2 rows because it was not good. Then I had to go with 3 rows and then 3 rows back and so on and so on. And I even had the problem because one of my friends realized I was doing everything backwards, because the friend who showed me the stitch, she was left-handed, so I was copying what she was doing, and I'm right-handed, and it was like a huge disaster. So in the end, I couldn't even finish it because I didn't know how to finish. And then after 3 years of struggle, my mom finally came and she said, "Oh, you're still doing that scarf. Like, why didn't you finish?" I don't know how to finish. My friend who was showing me that, she was not there anymore because I moved out somewhere else. So she finished that in 5 minutes. And that was it. That was my try on the knitting. And I promise I will never do it again unless I will be desperate. I am very happy to pay people for crocheting and knitting. So I have some beautiful scarves which are handmade because I absolutely love them. I have woolen blankets which are handmade, like the bed throws from Aran Islands, beautiful, but I can't do it at all. And from more crafty techniques, which would be they would be more connected to paper crafts, I tried playing with wax. I wanted to try a little bit of the encaustic art, and I think The results were not so bad, but I'm not sure if I like it enough to continue. Like, I've got the wax, I've got the irons, I've got all the things that I need, but I don't really feel it. Like, I don't think this is for me. It's too flat. Yeah, flat. I am not good at card making as well. Like, I can do cards, but I think my cards are two-dimensional to be put in the proper use. I know I should never try things like cross-stitching or embroidery. Anything like that is going to kill me completely. So this is not my kind of things. Um, I am not good at things which are repetitive and they require precision. Please forgive me, but I think my cat is trying to eat my leg at the moment. So that was it. Oh, you can see her a little bit. So I I am quite okay with mixed media. I can do um, a lot of projects which require patience. I can do much better when I can see the result faster. Okay, that's another question about creativity. I can see there was something about canvas. Do you prefer doing a project on canvas or on paper? That depends. That depends. Most of the times I use both canvas and paper, which means when I take the canvas, I usually use some paper on it as well, which means, yes, and I think that doesn't need measuring. Yeah, exactly. Which means I use both. Like, I love using some pattern papers, especially if they are old and if they have some story in them, like old photos or pages from the old books. I love using them, but canvas is great surface to stick stuff onto, right? So this is what I'm trying to do. I take pieces of elements, pieces of paper, and then I would stick them on the canvas. I don't paint directly on the canvas. I always start with something that is texture. So I would go with some elements first, and then I would put them on the canvas. Canvas is sturdy. It's thick. It can hold a lot of weight. That's why I absolutely love it. Let me look here for the question I've seen. I think there was something about the focal point. Oh, okay. I found another one. Before you became a famous mixed media artist, like, oh, really? What did you study and what did you work at? That's a good question. So if you've seen my video from like weeks ago when I was talking about my beginnings in mixed media, I was telling that I just really started mixed media as my hobby to get, well, it was basically the first steps were scrapbooking, and then I started mixed media because for me the paper crafts were not my thing. If you would like to see that video, it should be, I think, my video journal number 10. And what I was doing before, well, I, by profession, I'm an adult educator, which is, I'm not really a teacher. I work with adults on the different learning platforms to make them creative, to make them learn. So I could be a coach, I could be personal trainer, I could be elderly club leader, I could work in a community center, I could work and with distant learning, I could work in a lot of different facilities which are not schools. And I've got master degree in adult education. This is my profession. So in a way, as you can see, I work in my profession somehow. And I didn't expect that at all. I don't have any art studies. I am absolutely self-taught, and I already finished my art education in primary school. This is truth. So yes, e-learning as well. So I have no artistic background whatsoever. That's Yaga. And that is, yes, that was about the focal points and inspiration. Thank you. If you can see that I can't find the question, just paste it again. That will be very helpful. So in a way, you can say I'm a professional teacher. Like I'm a professional teacher, but not really school teacher. I am, I would say, educator is the best description of it all. Then there was question, yes. How do you get your inspiration for focal points in your compositions? That's a very good question. So, in fact, I usually find something. It may be an object. It's just like found object that I really like, or I have idea. I would like to create something that carries some meaning. I would think I need to make a video about meaning in the projects in general, in collage projects. And for me, when I find something like element that I would like to showcase, I can build all the background, all the story around it. So if it's an old paintbrush, I'm going to make sure this paintbrush has like the second life. Like it is really showing its own personality. I look for the things that catch my eye. If it's a photo, because sometimes I work with the photos. Quite often I work with photos. I try to think what kind of emotion goes with that photo, what kind of feeling, who are the people on the photo maybe, if I have some feelings about them, because if I work with my family photos, I usually put my emotion on that project as well. If it's my face, it's more to show some kind of message. There's usually a message in the projects where is my face in there. And this message may be, for example, I am absolutely overwhelmed at the moment and I don't want to talk about it, but here it is. Or that maybe my head will explode because I have so many ideas. Or I'm showing that I have some, things going on in my life. I try to show things. Like I don't talk about that. I just make images instead, if that makes any sense. So I usually don't really use the images that are meaningless to me unless this is the classroom project and we work strictly on the techniques. So whatever I'm doing at home, there is deeper message in it. Maybe I'm the only one who can see the message, but there is meaning in it. I can see next questions coming. Okay. Yeah, I know my story about knitting is really entertaining. Like, I have this scarf I still have that scarf and I wear it proudly. Okay. I think it was neat and dangerous. Yes, whatever sewing related gives me a headache. Yes. And my mom, she's so good at sewing, and I'm hopeless. Yes, I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. That was another question. Do you have a cat? Yes, I have 2 cats and 2 dogs, 2 beagles. One of them is very old, and she is 15 years now, and she's really a granny. And the second beagle you can see here, this is Pepper. She is 8 years old, and she's got some problems with her health as well, so she's not perfect. The cats are fine. Yeah. So the kitties. What is the product that you cannot miss in your projects? That's a very good question. If you will do a little of the basic analysis of the project, I think for most of the mixed media people, the answer would be gesso. Gesso is always there because it's something which is isolation, so it stops your layers from mixing with each other. This is something that is going to stop your inks from soaking in, and it's also like the basic barrier for you, so it's like a starter, right? The second answer to that will be probably more specific to me: gel. There's always some kind of gel. It either soft gel for gluing the papers together or the small embellishments, or heavy gel, especially heavy body gel for gluing the heavy stuff. All of my projects in a way are dimensional, so I need something to build that dimension, and gel is my go-to product. Especially I made it so sticky. We intentionally made the gels so sticky that they are easily used for all the collage techniques. So this is why it's not like gel medium is just fun. No, it really works well. Yeah. Okay, when you design a project, do you have something in mind beforehand and know exactly what you want to do, or do you allow your creative juices to flow and see what the end result is? There is no one answer to that question, because sometimes I would just start. Usually, it is I have an image in my head, and when it comes to the big and serious projects, I usually wake up with the with the image in my head, and maybe like the collage I want to show, or I'm thinking about something and then I can see exactly what I need to do. But sometimes there were moments when I want, for example, I work with some kind of challenge because I have colors to use or I have new products to use, and then I more go with the flow. I start with something, I have some general idea it is going to be about sunshine, for example, and then I just let it happen. Also, important information is I am never able to transfer the image I've got in my head exactly on the canvas. It's always a little bit different, because this is how mixed media works. You can't paint exactly what you can see in your head because it's just not possible. You don't have right elements, but still there is like the new value in it when you start working on it and you are following your idea. Maybe the circumstances, the moments you are working in, they're going to add new value to what you are trying to show, I think. The process is the most important part of it all. So as long as in the process there's like a flow, I just don't worry. I really rarely have to stop and wait to decide what to do next. Most of the times I just go from beginning till the end. It's so encouraging to know that, Anna, it means that self-thought and perseverance get you where your heart takes you. Yes, that is what I believe. Many times I was telling people if I could do it, anybody can do it, no matter what your goal is. If you follow your heart, if you are trying to do what you really believe in, if you're really pushing yourself there, if you really go with your flow, you're going to get there. And I had no intention to go anywhere, to be honest. It just happened. It was just going step by step. There was this story just happened to me. I was not planning on that, because how can you plan a job that doesn't really exist in real life? Because this is how I think. Like this job I'm doing, it's not real job. Like I know it is a job, but I don't think there's any kind of job description that fits to what I'm doing. Your projects really inspire me. Thank you. I feel blessed, really, that people can find inspiration in what I'm doing. have you ever created something you didn't like the end result, or do you use as a learning curve? I would say there are some projects which I'm not mad about. Like there are some projects which are not my favorite ones. They are projects which are like, they're okay. There's only one project I was working on I had to throw away, but it was not because I gave up, it was the materials gave up. The hole in the middle was too big to cover that with anything, so it was just easier to throw it away and start again. And it's not like I believe I'm so talented and my projects are awesome. I just know everybody has better days and worse days. And you can't have your best projects every day. This is natural. Like one day you are going to make amazing piece of art which is going to blow your mind. Of course, if you let yourself admit that, it is really cool, because it's another problem to really admit that, yeah, this is done, this is really nice. Because we are all our worst critics. And on the other day, it's going to be a huge win if you are going to do something at all, like maybe 3 dots and a circle, and it's going to be a win because you may be not in your best spirits, you may feel bad, and even the most simple project has the value because you've been there, you took your brush in your hand and you made something creative, like you let yourself do something creative. And there are some projects which are not so great, but I still see some value. And when it comes to learning, yes, through making mistakes and some experiments, I learned a lot. And this is something that I think a lot of people really realize. The more they do, the more ideas they have. So this is the same with me. The more I create, the more ideas I have, and the more products I would like to use and try. So I hope that is the answer to the question. So let me see. I can see that in how you cover the eyes. Yeah, eyes are important in my projects. Eyes and mouth, because this is what you see and this is what you say. So yeah, there are meanings. Which is your best project? My latest project. No, this is not true. It's not like my latest project is my best project. There are some projects which I consider to be really good, and I think all my big collage projects are like that. But I don't mean the classes projects, because they are intentionally made in a doable way, so it's easy to replicate the things that are done there. I mean the projects which are made for myself. So I think if you've seen my biggest collage projects, I made the one which is called Queen of Hearts, or the one which is called Fragmentation, or the one which is called Dark Forest, or the ones which is Industrial Ophelia. These are the ones I really like, and these really show the possibilities of the techniques that I really developed over the years. They are my best because they are stretching me to the maximum when I make them. And I'm very happy that I can find 2-3 days just to work on the project and nothing else. And I am very guilty because I didn't really have enough time to do it in the last years, like 2 years. I didn't make a big project in the last 2 years. And I have one started. In fact, I have 2 started. Half their like background is ready, and I know what they are, but they never ever happened because I was too busy. Let me see. What is your the favorite project you did? How does your experience as an immigrant inform in your work, if it does? Much love from Slovak American. Um, Surprisingly, and I don't think my experience as an immigrant affects my work, because in a way, with the art I'm creating, I feel very international, because I started working on the projects and posting them mostly internationally, and I don't really see a big change in the way I was creating when I was in Poland and I'm here. In a way, because I live quite far from the community. I live in a small village and I've got some friends who are Irish, of course. I have neighbors. But honestly, most of the times I would say my friends are all over the world. I have people which I call my friends in different countries. So I don't really feel that I'm really I am an immigrant in this country, yes, but I don't feel like one, to be honest. That's kind of hard to describe. I don't have this tight connection with my country because, of course, I've got friends there, my family, and everything goes there. But, you know, my heart goes there and my roots go there. But on the other hand, so many things happen to me on the international level. I mean, many countries were involved that I don't think I'm a typical example of an immigrant, I have to tell you. I have friends in France, I have friends in South Africa, I've got friends in United States, I've got friends in Germany, I've got friends in Russia, and wherever I go, I get some new, some new experience. And most of the people I'm in touch with are very international. So I think my immigrant personality here is very distorted. Like, don't take me as an example because I'm not a good one. Germanium. How did you come to have a product product line named after you? It all started when I was an active international teacher, teaching classes in mostly in Europe at that time, but also being Prima design team member at the same time. And I was teaching more and more classes, and once when I was invited to the demos during the CHA at that time to do them at Prima booth as a teacher and the design team member at the same time, there were some creative discussions going on, and I was asked to create a line for Prima. I was asked to create the first collection, which is called Sunrise Sunset, which I did because I had experience in paper designing for Polish company 7 Studio before. And I also developed the first batch of the mechanicals, which are metal embellishments. And what happened after that, they were used a lot in my classes by myself and my students. They were getting popular. And then step by step, because I used so many of the art mediums of different brands, we were discussing that matter, and we agreed that it would be kind of very logical to use Prima product in the classes only, because I'm connected with Prima marketing. And that was how we started this brainstorming what we can do. And I came with the concept of the basic line of the products, the art basics, and then some extras called ingredients and art extravagance, which are like ready to go products. And that all took 1.5 years for the first release to create. So it came from need. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you. It came from the need that I really wanted to have products that work the way I want them to work, because you know, you can take a jar of gel medium from any brand, but the stickiness or the consistency will be always a little bit different because they are really not meant to be used as glues, for example. They're not meant to be used with stencils, for example. And when I have my own product, I know exactly what it does. So that is a huge advantage, and I can make it easier for myself. I'm sorry, the cat is here and she gave me the mouse. She really wants to play. So that was the answer, I hope. Sorry for that. I think I have to make some intervention here. Jaga. Chodź tutaj. Chodź. Say hello. Yeah, she is not going to be very happy at the moment because I'm stopping her from playing, but I hope this is going to be better now. Sorry. What is your guilty pleasure? My guilty pleasure. I like reading books and visual. Okay, how do you call them? Visual novels. I like visual novels a lot. I absolutely love Sandman by Neil Gaiman. This is one of my guilty pleasures. I have all of them, I think. And I love to watch Japanese anime from time to time. And I like to watch some TV shows, mostly about some mysterious or some, comics. Yeah, I do like comics. I know she's loud. Just you know, she's 6 months old kitten. So let's try to pretend everything is fine. So that would be my guilty pleasure. That would be my guilty pleasure. And I like cake. It has to be good, not so sweet cake. I like cheesecake, I like poppy seed cake. This is what I like. Let's see. I have that question covered already. How much are you involved in product development and what is your role there? Well, the truth is I do from 90% to 80%, well, 85, well, about 85 to 90% of the work, because when it comes to art mediums, 80%, because I'm not a chemist, so I have to rely on the lab that is working, and I have to work with them together to create a consistency or the color formula, but I have the decision exactly which colors are going to be there and how it's going to work, and the same for the consistency of the gels and everything. I don't design the packaging that much, which means I do the decisions about the sizes of the jars, like most of the decisions like that, and I do decisions about the color palettes when it comes to the final looks. But here, the Prima art department, they always have the last word because they are the art department. They know better how to make packaging than me. When it comes to stamps or stencils or papers, it's basically this 90%, because the only thing I'm not doing is the packaging. And of course, the final production. When it comes to embellishments, 85, 90%, because again, I make the sketches or I make the photos, images, and so on and so on. So I would say very, very high. Even if it's just glitter, I make the selection of the colors. So the only thing that is not there, it's the packaging. I just don't work exactly on the packaging as much, because there are people who are much better at that. So I hope that answers the question. Um, I, what is the story of your jewelry? It's is it found trinkets or made for you? What is it about? It you love? Is it element of you? I can't imagine without the jewelry. Well, I love earrings, and I'm addicted to earrings, and I buy them wherever I can see something nice. So I have nice collection, but these particular ones and most of the things that you can see on me, they come from one brand, which is from Israel. It's called Michal Negrin, and they are absolutely lovely vintage inspired um, products, handmade. It's handmade jewelry, and they are 100% me. I just love them. So whenever I go to Israel, I buy myself 2 or 3 pairs. Sometimes I buy online. They are on some of the airports as well, but very rarely. I would absolutely. I would love a pair or some bracelet or something that would be vintage. I would buy vintage, of course. I love rings as well. So rings are mostly my wedding rings. There's a ring which belonged to my grandma. It's her wedding ring as well. I wear it all the time. And there's a ring which I bought at Santorini, this one, because it looks very vintage. I feel this is piece of me. Like I feel naked if I don't wear it. So I always have some kind of earrings. I always have some kind of uh, rings on my fingers, and I usually have bracelets as well because I feel better. Like now I have these. They are pearls, and they are and not obsidian stones. I'm not sure exactly, and some Pandoras. And I'm sorry if I can't see all of the comments because it's not easy. You were such an inspiring person. Thank you. In my head, I feel I'm absolutely boring. Really, I'm so boring. Yes, thank you guys again. Thank you for joining. I can see a lot of people joining later, and thank you for all the thumbs up because that helps to make it more visible. And I'm sure that you're going to be able to see the recordings. If you missed something, you can see it later once we finish. Um, uh, what is your most and least favorite colors to use? My most favorite color to use is black. I use black in every project a little bit. And I usually add a little bit of the vintage brown as well. And I really like using red, using blues, purples, and sometimes shades of green. My least favorite colors will be yellow. Yellow and probably also orange, because they are not my kind of color, I guess. I'm quite comfortable with pink. I'm quite comfortable with all the others. But this is, sorry, my cat is everywhere now. I'm trying to, okay, here. So these are the colors that are my cup of tea. Yellow is not my cup of tea. However, I've seen beautiful projects done with yellow. So for me, that would be a bit challenging. So now, Dear God, what has been your biggest challenge? Yeah, there were questions on Instagram as well. How do I manage with my work? And the answer is I don't. Well, my biggest challenge is the balance between finding the time to create, finding the time to make projects, and finding time to travel. Of course, it doesn't apply to the time now because, as you can imagine, I'm not able to travel for the next 2 weeks. So we are going to see what happens. Um, I have hard time because it's very hard to switch from one gear to another. So for me, the biggest challenge is to finding time to relax and rest without feeling guilty that I'm not doing something else. I'm workaholic, and um, on some point I'm getting exhausted. So it's like I'm exhausted workaholic on some points of my life, and this is the moment when we just disappear. Well, my husband would put me in the car and we go for a road trip. So last year I was recharging quite a lot. I was going for a lot of road trips just to go away from the studio and from the computer. So that is going to help me recharge the batteries. The biggest challenge, I think, was also traveling that much, because that means you have to be very far away from all your friends and family. And after a few days, you start getting homesick. No matter how lovely my students are, no matter how great the experience is, you don't feel 100% happy if you can't share that with somebody you love. So um, it's a big challenge. I think some of people who would like to be international traveling teacher, they underestimate the thing that they will feel a bit lonely from time to time. And there are many things you have to sacrifice to travel. And there are many things you have to sacrifice when you want to do this kind of job, because you basically have to organize all your life around it. This is the only way I found. Everything else has to be organized around my schedule, which is very demanding, especially on my family and friends. I'm not a good friend to have because I'm rarely there. Mm, let's see what have. Oh, it's my pleasure. Do I have a favorite product? Heavy body gel. It's my baby. It's like the best. It's like the best product for glowing I ever had in my hands, and I'm so glad it works the way I was planning, and I love everything about it. This is my favorite product. Do you always have an idea of the paint colors combination to use every time you do the new project? Is the color combination main inspiration, or the design comes first? Design comes first. Color is not as important for me as the combination of the elements used in the project. The colors, they are important. They have some meaning for me as well, but they usually come second. I have some ideas. Color palette depends on my mood, and it also depends on the phase I'm in my life, because I go through color phases. Probably many artists do. They go from green and blues to pinks and yellows through browns and blacks, and they go back to the blues. Like, you know, we make these circles a lot, I think, everybody. So I will be going through these phases as well, and then I just follow the natural instinct and what I feel like at the moment. Sometimes I just see something that really attracts my attention, like a certain color combination, and then it gets stuck to my head, and then when I create, I will use it. But design comes first for me, like the placement of the elements and the general. I can make a decision going to be light or dark in the beginning, but this is like everything really. Thank you. Okay, I will read all of your comments later as well. So don't worry if I can't answer because it goes pretty fast here. Um, I should Finnabair earrings. Oh my god, that would be awesome. Um, I love your hairstyle, so arty and trendy. What inspired you to choose that hairstyle? It's not trendy anymore. I have it like for 7 years already. Hairstyle. Um, I was bored with my hair because my hair was just, my hair, you can't do too much with my hair. It's just straight and it does nothing. And the more humid it is, the more straight and flat it gets. So I've seen, like, I wanted to do something, and we've seen a photo of the Polish singer at that time, and she's got more wavy hair than I do, but she had similar hairstyle, shorter version of what I've got. And I decided I really want to have part of my hair cut really short. And because she's got similar shape of her face, and we don't really look that much alike, but you could see that could fit my features. We decided to go to the hairdressers in Warsaw, and we said, okay, this was me and my husband. That is the idea. What does and asked her for her advice, and she said that will be cool. And she shaved half of my hair off, and I kept it since. So I just like this. Like, now this is getting a little bit too long. I have to cut it shorter. And it's easy because you can just take the electric razor and you just shave it off, and then it grows back, and then you shave it off and it grows back. So it's kind of convenient. Uh, Thank you so much. I'm happy you enjoy working with my product. Um, are there any new products coming out this year? I can't give you hints because this is forbidden in my contract. If everything will go according to the plan, because there is a plan always, and they already exist, like everything is done. Hopefully there will be a second release coming. End of summer, early fall, that will be the plan. But as you know, the situation with the economy and manufacturing now is a little bit tense. So don't take it as a promise. It's like my big hope, fingers crossed. I hope everything is going to go according to the plan. So yes, there will be new products coming. What's your favorite food? That's the problem. I just like food. No, it's not true. Like, I don't eat everything. I'm lucky. I'm not allergic to anything. But there's certain things I really like. I discovered I absolutely love Japanese food. I like a lot of food which is no, I didn't see a message about people with disability. Please, if you can send it again. Yes, I would love to read it. The food I really like, it will be something that has nice combination of flavors, and I really like cooking myself. So I really like experimenting at home. So I learn new flavors when I travel. And then if I absolutely love something and I can't get it locally, and remember, I live in a village, so we don't have any takeaways or restaurants, and the pub doesn't serve any food. I just have to cook myself. So we cook all our dinners at home. And I cook Polish food, which is, for those of you who are Polish or you know Polish cuisine, you know it's interesting mix between East and West, and that is something that many people enjoy. It's a lot of comforting food and a lot of heavy food as well, based on meat and vegetables and quite a lot of interesting spice combinations. And from Polish cuisine, I absolutely love um, smoked pork belly and bean soup. Um, mam na myśli fasolową na boczku. And I love crepes. I love a lot, really a lot of things that I ate in France, and I fell in love with Oriental soups such as laksa, which I've tried first in Singapore, which is spicy, sour, and yes, Polish people eat a lot of garlic. Basically, yes, we do. And bigos, yes, we also love bigos, and I have to do finally bigos here because I didn't have the time. So, and we do a lot of cooking, and I also like Italian a lot. It's easier to say what I don't like, to be honest. Let's see. Will you design a new paper collection for Prima? Probably not. The answer is probably not. I will make more likely the tissue papers or some kind of paper pads instead of paper collections, because my way of making the papers, it's not really going with traditional scrapbooking styles, right? I don't use that much of the pattern paper myself to justify making one. So I think I will leave it to people who are more focused on traditional pierogi, to traditional paper crafts, and I can focus on the things which are more unique and more mixed media orientated. So we have plenty of space on the market. So you can expect more of the tissue papers, or maybe rice paper, or maybe washi paper, something, you know, more crazy with my designs, but not really traditional 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper, unless it's a paper pad. You have traveled all around the world teaching classes. I hope it is not disconnected. I think not. Sorry for that. Is there any place that you really want to visit? Yes. I really want to go to Japan again. I would like to go to Japanese countryside, which means I would love to see smaller Japanese islands. This is on my wish list. I would like to do it. And it's one day I will do it. And that is also answering to the questions, because there was question if there are any dreams to come true. And I think this is the question from Nuneka as well. Yes, I have a dream. I would like to travel with my husband to Japan more than one time, and I would like to see the real village life in Japan and learn a bit more about Japanese culture from first hand. And I would love to go to New Zealand with my husband. I know it is kind of cheesy, but I really want to go to Hobbit Village. I've been in New Zealand so many times, and I've never been to Hobbiton. I would like to see Hobbit houses. And my dream is to go to, I think these are, what are the name of the studios? Like, the Harry Potter studios. I would love to go to Harry Potter studios near London. That's another dream to do. That are dreams that I would like to make come true, my travel dreams. So, well, in fact, the best, what I would like to do, and I was hoping we can do it this year, but now I'm not sure anymore, is to go for a tour and teach classes in Australia and New Zealand, and then visit my cousin and his wife and two beautiful children in Sydney, and then stay with them for 2-3 days. My husband could join us, and then go together to New Zealand and also do some classes in New Zealand, and then a tour. I would love him to see New Zealand because it's absolutely beautiful country, and I think he would enjoy seeing the family in New Sydney as well. That is a big dream. Like, we don't really have much time to travel together. There was somebody asking about the travels. My husband rarely travels with me. I usually travel alone. He stays at home because he has to do his business as well. He has to take care of the house. He decided to be combination of the businessman and house husband, which is absolutely wonderful. That's the best support I could ever ask for. And he takes care of everything when I'm away. So that's the dreams when it comes to the travels. Um, um, you're absolutely not boring. Thank you. Do you like simple jewelry too? Of course. I have some very cool necklaces, but because I don't really wear that many necklaces, you can't really see them on me that often. I'm sure all of us think you're super creative and never ever boring. Like, you never lived with me under one roof, I think. Um, yes, yellow is hard color to work with. Have you ever felt you wanted to quit and do something completely different? Not yet. I I got burned out in my work before, but it was different work I was doing. I know the burnout, I know the mechanism, I know how to see the symptoms, and I'm trying to fight um, back quickly enough before something like that would happen to me, because I believe and I really think the job that I have at the moment is the biggest blessing that ever happened to me, because I can do amazing things, but that's one side of it. The best part of it is you. Um, I can see what we are creating together, what we are doing together, how the creativity starts to bloom, helps people on so many levels. Like, of course, it may be business wise because the shops are having better sales or people develop their new skills. Okay, let okay. I think we are back. I had to switch off to something else. No, that was unexpected. That was unexpected. So to finish, that was very important sentence I wanted to say. Uh, I don't know, it just disconnected. So um, I wanted to say that the most important thing is, well, when I see the results, that all the work that I put into pushing people into creativity, into giving them tools to play, into helping them develop the love for creativity or to learn new skills, it's in fact very helpful. It makes them feel better. It gives them new possibilities to express themselves, to maybe feel better mentally, or just forget about the worries of every day for a moment. And that's why I don't really think I would like to drop it all and do something completely different, because in a way you make me feel needed. Like I can see there's some kind of mission in it. Maybe you can this is, again, we come back to the feeling that, like the topic when you were asking in the beginning, my profession is to be adult educator. So if I can see reason for myself to do what I do, if I can support myself enough to pay my bills doing that, I don't want to drop it, because so far I'm far from, well, I'm not maybe very far, I'm far enough from the burnout, and I can see a lot of good things happening for my friends who are on my team as well, from all the people who are coming to the classes. I see a lot of good things in that. Hmm. Oh, Harry Potter Patronus. Yes, well, I have a tattoo as well, but it's not Patronus. Let's see. I will be finishing soon because I'm thinking that my YouTube is telling me this was too long, maybe. But let's say 10 more minutes, and I will try to find the questions. And if this is not enough, maybe in some time I will do another Q&A, or maybe I will use some of these questions to make my video journal. Is that okay? I hope. Um, Marta is always talking about Polish soups and cucumbers. Yes. Um, all this unique style of the compositions with flowers, cogs. What was the idea? How begin to combine all these elements? I hope I give you under. Yes, Vasily. Of course, I understand. I was explaining that in the video when I was talking about my mixed media beginnings. So if you didn't see that video, all of you guys, you can go and watch because that is going to give you some answers. But truth is, I started all that because I was buying a lot of things on the flea market and I was trying to find my way of expressing uh, my personality. And in my eyes, all these things that I put in there, they have like this meaning. They move in my head. If they're cogs, they are moving. In my head when I look at it, there's like a machine. So because that it is a machine, it shows some kind of the creative process or some kind of uh, ideas flowing, and combining the sweet and girly stuff with the heavy stuff is just how I am. I'm not very girly girl. I don't. If you've seen my studio, if you know me, how the way I am, I'm not on this very feminine side of the spectrum. I have a lot of things in myself which are probably a little bit more edgy and crazy, and this is somehow going nicely together with all these flowers and cogs because you know this is how I see things. I can see elements lying on the table, and sooner or later I will start to put them together into some kind of machine or some kind of person or some kind of composition, making up stories in my head about that. And there are many people who do this kind of things. They have natural will to construct, and I think this is it. As a child, I like to open all the things to see what is inside. So I think this is why I like it. Is your husband an artist too? No, he is printing specialist. He just forgive my dogs. He's printing specialist, and now he doesn't work in that anymore. He is a online shop business owner, but he loved playing the guitar in the past, and he was quite good at it. But now he doesn't do it anymore, and I'm really sad. Um, Rice paper, yes. Where do you live? Are you in isolation as well? Not complete isolation. We are in Ireland, and Ireland is working on the social and physical distancing, not really isolation, complete this isolation, because we still have our, we can go out if we want to, but we are expected to keep the distance like 2 meters from each other if it's possible. And the shops, they developed a lot of solutions for that. So if you want to go to do grocery shopping, and if you need to go to pharmacy, you have to keep the distance. For me, it's not a very big difference because I work from home, so I don't really feel that isolated. I'm used to that. I have it all the time, except the moments when I travel. Mm. You are so me. It's hilarious. I'm afraid you're a geek. Yes, I am a geek. I know that. I just try to hide it so people don't know. Yes, Warner Brothers Studio is an amazing experience. Okay. Oh, Neka, you are sending such nice things. Thank you so much for saying it because that melts my heart. That is just the nicest comment to say. Thank you. Um, oh, you are the best. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for inspiring me daily. I try to do things for everybody, but the truth is I also do it for myself, because I have to find some motivation to create, because there was also a question here about how do I keep my daily motivation. Oh, I'm not master of motivation, to be honest. The best motivation for me is deadline. If I have a deadline, I won't sleep, I won't eat, I will just do it. And the problem is if I don't have a deadline or I don't have a topic to work on. So then I'm all over the place and I have too many ideas and I'm like, maybe I will do this or that. And then the night before, I am master of the last minutes. That's how it works. There are also questions. What are your hobbies saying as crafting a user job? Yeah, my hobbies. I like gardening. I like working in my garden. I feel this is absolutely lovely thing to do. It makes me happy to be in the garden. And I read books and comics, and I really like um, science fiction and fantasy and detective stories and the kind of mystery ones. So this is what I do. And I absolutely love traveling for pleasure. This is my big hobby. I love traveling, but traveling as a vacation. Guys, I think we are finishing now, I guess. Yeah, I'm a deadline worker. If you do give me the deadline, I work so much better. I promise, if there's like any important last question I have to answer before we finish, because it's very long. The name of the wind, Patrick. No, I have to read that, apparently. Thank you for answering my Instagram question. Yeah, I tried to put them here on the list, but if there are some quite long ones about the motivation and being balanced, and I will try to maybe make a video just answering for the questions about the balance between motivation and creativity and making projects and so on, because there are many aspects of my job I do, and I think this is a longer topic to discuss. Is that okay? Thank you so much, guys, for joining. And there was a small disruption on the way. How did you get the moth as your logo? Gigi asked. That's a very good question. I can answer that because this is easy. Let my old dog go. Yeah, she is 15. She's deaf. She doesn't care if she makes noises or not. The moth. It's all about transformation. Like, the moth comes from the caterpillar, and caterpillars are usually not so beautiful, but they have a lot of potential, right? And then they cocoon, and then change into butterflies, or they change into moths. And I don't think I'm a butterfly, personally. I don't think I am light and pretty enough in my moods and everything to be a butterfly, but I totally feel like fat and hairy moth. So especially the moths are having this kind of obsession, following the light. In the night they get completely crazy, so they have this like hard drive to get to the place. So I think moth is the best kind of creature that would be matching my personality. And in fact, that was the tattoo that I had done years ago. The first element of my tattoo was quite big moth. So when I had to make a quick decision what is going to be my logo, when I started to make line for Prima, I just knew it's going to be Finnabair and a moth. And this is it. Are you a night owl? Yes, 100%. I am terrible in the mornings. Nobody wants to talk to me in the morning. Even I don't want to talk to myself in the morning. No. Oh, there are many questions coming now. But I think we have to finish because it's really long. It's almost 1 hour and a half already. So I hope you're going to forgive me. And I will try to read the comments, and I will try to write down the most important ones, the ones I can put together maybe and make a video for you. And let's hope I can record that properly so you can watch it again later if you missed the beginning of the video. It's my first time, so you never know what may happen. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for asking questions. You are such a lovely group of people, and you are so supportive, and it's a huge pleasure to work with you. Also, let me know if you like this kind of video, if you would like to see more of the chats like that in the future about something. Let me know what you think about live shows in general, if it's something that you like. I'm trying to figure out what is better. Is it YouTube or is it Facebook or is it Instagram? What goes the best? And because I can talk a lot, really. I have no problems with talking, as you can see. So if there will be a longer topic, I can just discuss it with you in the live session instead of making the video as well. So if you have more questions, you can always leave them in the comments as well. Yeah, more chatting videos and video shows. Okay, I'm trying to respond to the new world. Like in the past, you were writing blogs and people were going to the blogs and visits. Now everybody is expecting to see photos and videos, and I think I'm not very camera shy, so I believe that works. You are the kindest people ever. Thank you so much for joining. I had a great time with you. And let's hope YouTube is going to keep that recording safe for us. Okay? Thank you so much, and see you soon again. Now, how to switch it off? Sure.